Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at a coin that I haven't talked about in quite a while because it wasn't doing a whole heck of a lot until recently. But that's Celsius, Celsius token, and here we have the valuation against the U.S. dollar. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. In US dollar terms, Celsius has been essentially moving sideways ever since its run up from the beginning of January, or I guess the end of December, where from the bottom of this rally was is pretty impressive. It rallied almost 10,000% from a valuation of like 6 cents in March of 2020 to $6.40 at the end of the year. And ever since then, we've been kind of moving sideways, and we're coming to a point now where things might get a little interesting. Yes, Celsius is up 7% against the U.S. dollar, but what's more important is that we're coming up to the 20-week moving average, uh, and with Celsius, it is a newish coin, and so we don't have a lot of price data to go off of. But what little we do have has shown that if it's above the 20-week moving average, Celsius does pretty well. When we make contact with it, we do a run, we get a run, and you can say from the moving average to the move up, it's about a 320% move against the US dollar, which is pretty impressive. Here we are again. We've been riding, since the middle of March, I would say. We made contact at 3 weeks ago, and we've been kind of riding it. And here we're getting a move of 7%. Now you can see with these wicks on the weekly, and you can see it's more pronounced on the daily, that the price fluctuates fairly drastically. From even yesterday, as an example, we went to a high of $5.04, but wicked as low as $4.60. So very, 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 very volatile, and that is to be expected, especially if we're looking at an exchange like HitBTC, where there's not a lot of volume coming from. But here we are again at the 20-week moving average, and we should see some decisive move from Celsius, whether that's to the downside or to the upside. We know that even if it breaks the 20-week moving average, as long as it is able to get above it at some point, we should see a rally. The question is just when. At the moment right here, it seems pretty clear that we will get some kind of decisive action from Celsius. We've been riding the 20-week moving average for 3 weeks. It could happen for another couple of weeks, and then we see a breakout. But uh, be on the lookout for some kind of decisive move against the US dollar from Celsius. Uh, However, also, in order for Celsius to make any considerable gains against the US dollar, it would need to start outpacing Bitcoin. And obviously, as you can see, ever since the end of December, we have been bleeding against Bitcoin. We lost a valuation of let me measure it out here. We lost a considerable amount of valuation from the top to where we are now. We lost more than half the valuation against Bitcoin with Celsius token. So that's a pretty big drop. But again, something to be expected considering the move that we had, even against Bitcoin. We're talking considerable numbers, like 1,500% against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has at that during that time moved astronomically. So you can get the idea why Celsius token against the US dollar rallied to almost 10,000% from the bottom, and against Bitcoin 1,500%. Some things to note. There are a lot of indications saying that we should see another altcoin run. I would argue that it's going to be fueled by an Ethereum run. We have seen a 16% move now from Ethereum against Bitcoin for the week. We'll see what happens tomorrow and the rest of today in terms of valuation. Ethereum is pulling back, but it hasn't eviscerated all the gains we made of yesterday. And so what does this mean? Well, if an altcoin an Ethereum fueled altcoin rally means that altcoins will rally, so we can expect Celsius to move against Bitcoin. However, if we look at Celsius against Ethereum, it's probably going to bleed. I don't know if there is a yes, there is on HitBTC. Interesting. So we can see here that it has dropped considerably, and we could see a further move to the downside from Celsius if Ethereum is going to be the one leading the rally. If everything stays the status quo, Ethereum continues to bleed or stay stagnant. If Bitcoin stays at around $60,000, we might see, it comes to the next possibility of just a second rally, a continuation rally from altcoins. And let's not forget that a lot of altcoins like Cardano, Basic Attention Token, Uniswap, and VeChain, among many others, have already been starting their own rally. So the inflation the prices of altcoins have been inflated for the past month, and we can almost expect, or I expect, that liquidity to fall back into Ethereum. Hence why I think that the altcoin rally continuation is going to be fueled by Ethereum rallying. But that doesn't mean it has to happen. We can just see a plain move by altcoins themselves of a continuation. We can see Cardano go back to the upper bounds against Ethereum. We can see VeChain continuing its own rally against Ethereum to the upper bounds, something that it only had done since in July. But that's something that I'm keeping an eye on. Celsius doesn't take up too much of my portfolio now. I did sell a considerable amount at the end, nearing the beginning of the year. So with that said, it's not going to make a huge impact on my portfolio, but I do own, a considerable amount where that I would reap the benefits if Celsius does if Celsius does rally again. But thought I should make an update on Celsius. I still do own the coin, and I have been looking at it for a couple of weeks now, especially because it looked to be making contact with the 20-week moving average, and we should see a decisive move from Celsius. Do we see another 10,000% move like what we saw since the beginning of March 2020? No, I don't think so. I think that's a little unrealistic, and we should be a little bit more conservative of our projections for Celsius token going forward. It's probably still going to go up, but not to the extent of what we make it out to be. We could potentially go back to the upper bounds of the Bitcoin chart. So if we look here at the very peak at the wick, Celsius token was valued at 21,938 sats. So if we do the math, we can kind of get a sense of what Celsius US dollar valuation might be like. So if, let's say, for example, hypothetically Celsius rallies back to 22,000 sats, and if Bitcoin stays at the valuation it is right now, so say $60,000, we're looking at a $13.20 Celsius token. So that's maybe a little over a 2x from here. Okay, so um, remember, the higher the price goes, the higher the market capitalization goes. Um, the more difficult it is to move the price up, right? So if we're looking at a $13.20 Celsius token, yeah, we're looking at at the current price, uh, we're looking at about 156% move to the upside. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.